who was the first NFL player to appear alone on the cover of Madden, marking the game, first game of the franchise, not headlined by John Madden himself. I think it's Eddie George. I don't know. I had all these.
I don't remember the years exactly.
Yeah, see, all these guys have been on it, though, which is tricky.
If this would have been a question about Pong or Centipede, I would have gotten it.
Yeah. I think it's Eddie George.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with Eddie George.
There we go.
Boom! Yes, Madden 01
22.
featured Eddie George as the first standalone player cover star, ending the Madden era covers. His appearance made him an early example of the Madden curse, the superstition that cover athletes suffer injuries or performance drops after the game's release. George struggled with injuries and a costly playoff fumble, fueling the myth.
Yep.
All right, next one.
I haven't heard that much at all lately. Is maybe just because the game's not as popular. I don't know, or just guys aren't getting hurt. But yeah, that was definitely a thing there for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not cover jinx on the college football yet, so. At least
because it would kill college football based on like the panorama where they have like everybody involved possible.
True. That's true. Okay, next question. Which boxer is best known for his famous victory? Smokey, go ahead.
Rumble in the Jungle. Which boxer is best known for his famous? It's Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali. Would this one break your heart because you're a Frazier guy?
I think Rumble in the Jungle was actually Foreman.
Yeah,
he beat Foreman in the 8th round.
Oh, that's right. Ali Boombaye. This is where Foreman walked in thinking he was popular and didn't.
Frazier Ali was Thriller in Manila.
Yeah, Ali Boombaye. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
8th round knockout. He took all those punches, blocked him from the big beast in George Foreman.
Yeah. Ali trained down there, right?
They
all loved him.
Man, yeah.
And Foreman walked in and it was just a hornet's nest.
Yeah. Rope-a-dope was what he helped block all those powerful blows from Foreman. Sometimes it's a matchup. Ali could beat Foreman. Frazier gave Ali hell, and Foreman beat the hell out of Frazier.
Do you think Muhammad Ali or George Foreman could beat Jake Paul?
It depends on how much.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Ali, of course, that was the one. He had lost a couple of fights to Norton and Frazier right before that.
Don't think that Jake Paul didn't call George Foreman.
Yeah, no, I know.
No, like he called George Foreman now, trying to rig that fight up and found out, no, we can't do that.
Can we get you out of?
In which decade is American football considered to have officially entered the modern era? The 1910s, the 1930s, the 1950s, or the 1970s?
Define modern era.
Well, I mean, that's
the question.
That's the question. You're trying to end around it here, Smokey. I'm going to say that the 30s.
When did Red Grange and all that happen?
And that was before the 30s.
Okay, I think that was probably around the 30s.
I'm going to say the 30s because that's when you start thinking about, because like Sid Luckman was like a little bit before the 50s, and we still talk about him when we talk about modern records. So
I'm going to say the 30s. I think it was well established, even though that TV game, what was it, the Giants and maybe the Browns or whatever it was the thing that just kind of put it over the edge. But Craig, you got one?
I don't think the 30s. I mean, there wasn't even Super Bowls being played then, so I don't know how it could be modern era. So when did
they weren't the 50s?
But really, there weren't Super Bowls until like the 68 or whatever it was, 67.
So that's where I'm going with this is that I think that as far as the modern NFL game, Super Bowls, AFL, NFL,
the merger,
like that's all later on. So I think that's 1970s because that's what we know now. 50s and all of that. I mean, there's two different leagues. There's no Super Bowl. That's not modern at all. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Okay. Then let's go with the 70s.
All right.
1930s.
You know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes age is not bad.
I thought this because they still talk about records and they compare it to then, even though it's totally a different thing, like you said, Craig. I let you talk me out of it.
Yeah, I mean, my bad. I was wrong on that. But yeah, I just think of modern differently, I suppose, because it's not at all the same game that it was then, the league or any of that. So, yeah, I was wrong there. Chicago Stadium game introduced hash marks, allowed forward passes. So there you go. There's the modern. How do you say that?
Era.
Modernity. Isn't that a word?
Yeah.
But yeah, behind the line of scrimmage, moved the goalpost back to the goal line, setting the foundation for the modern style of play. This game was the first indoor championship since 2002 and helped transform football into the faster, more strategic game fans know today. So,
all right. So 1930s is what I thought, but I wasn't positive enough to argue for it.
Yeah, we really have to have more backbone.
No.
Craig's intimidating, though.
Well, when he locks in, he's the dragon.
He's very intimidating.
All right.
Okay. O.J. Simpson's police chase family interrupted the broadcast of which NBA Finals?
The graphics are priceless. I don't want to make fun of what it was, a murder or two.
This was in 94?
I want to think it was 92 or 3. I was doing a remote at the Sportster in the French Quarter in Tyler with my great friend Bill Coates. We're sitting there watching the television coverage as we're hosting a show, and we really just couldn't keep our eyes off what was going on.
I remember the verdict was when I was a sophomore in high school, because I remember very clearly walking out of chemistry class and seeing a guy I played football with, very excited that OJ was free. And I was like, oh, you and I are different. But
Craig, you remember? You were 5 or 6,
I'm not
7,
answering
8.
this question after the last one. Y'all can have this one.
Yeah,
I definitely would have a better grip on this one, but y'all can go for it.
I think it might be 93. I think I'm with you. I think it's 93.
I want to think it was
because it dragged on for so long.
What was it like? The Knicks and
93 would have been the Bulls.
Yeah,
but
I want to say 90. Which one did you say?
I think
it was 92, but go ahead, 93. Was that? Go ahead.
Okay, let's split the difference.
We're 0 for 1 today.
94. I was right the first time again.
Millions of viewers. Yeah. Oh, you have that, but you don't have breaking news. The event was so gripping, NBC and other major networks cut away from Game 5. It was the Knicks, and Rockets to broadcast it live. An estimated 95 million, like an SEC game. Tuned in, making it one of the most watched television moments in American history. Okay.
One of the tragically funniest things you've ever heard out of Al Kelling's going, you know who I am, damn it.
Yeah, I know.
As if he was mad about his fame not being recognized on the 911 call. Which famous NFL figure chose the name for the Cincinnati Bengals? Pete Rozelle, Virgil Carter, Paul Brown, or Kent Anderson, who was their quarterback.
Virgil Carter was a quarterback.
Yeah.
Pete Rozelle, of course, was a commissioner.
Well, I mean,
and he was with the Rams.
Paul Brown's son owns the team currently.
It's not Ken Anderson. He was a quarterback.
Yeah. I'm going to say Paul Brown.
They lost to the 49ers a couple of times back when they had Montana. It's got to be Paul Brown.
It's got to be Paul Brown. There you go.
Yeah.
1968 Hall of Fame coach Paul Brown, co-founder of the Browns, co-founded the Cincinnati Bengals, and became their first head coach.
And they're big rivals,
Yeah, he named them the Bengals after a previous pro team, rejecting fan ideas like Buckeyes.
No, you can't do Buckeyes for pros.
Yeah.
Although they do pay their players.
Yeah. Brown retired as coach in 1975, but stayed team president until 1991 when he passed away. The Cincinnati Stadium was named Paul Brown Stadium in his honor. His son, Mike, owns the team now, and most people in Cincinnati wish that wasn't true.
I think the quarterback picture on the right is actually Frank Ryan with the Browns, with Paul Brown. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, that's impressive that you can recognize Frank.
But I can't remember. I don't know who the quarterback is now. Oh, Shador. All right.
Yeah. When was the last college football game of the century between undefeated number 1 and number 2 teams?
You and I know 93.
Yeah.
And that might have been Charlie Ward, Bobby Bowden, Nebraska. And I think that might have been. Now, I'm trying to think of 11. Wasn't that the year that Kansas State? No, that was 12. 11, Oklahoma State was really good.
They've never won.
No, they were close.
So we're talking about number 1 and number 2 teams playing in a game.
Well, 2000.
That were both undefeated.
Are we talking playoffs, bowl game, or regular season?
It's just this game. So it's got to be number 1, number 2 on
that was Joe Burrow's
teams.
year, right? Garrett, do you remember LSU playing a 1-against-2 that year? I mean, LSU was
were they
so
undefeated?
Good.
The team they played.
I want to say it's 93 Nebraska, Florida State.
I'm gonna let you have that. That would stand to reason. Although in 1993,
damn it! Oh, Alabama,
you were right the first time.
Well, Garrett, where the hell are you?
I'm trying to think. This was the Mason. Was this the Mason Taylor overtime catch? It might have been.
Yeah. Let's see.
Wait
No,
a
it was
minute.
not.
So
No,
wait
it
a
was
minute.
not.
So
First regular season #1 versus #2 clash since 2011. Okay. The upcoming December 6th championship, Ohio State versus Indiana. Similar hype. Okay. Indiana in the game of the century is something I never thought I would say.
how much of a chance? And I think they're really good, and they got a little swagger. And Signetti has just he's very confident. What are the odds, 1 to 10, that Indiana wins on Saturday? I know you may have picked them.
I picked him.
Are
I picked him.
you trying to come from behind again?
No, I got a feeling.
I would love to see that
I got a
happen. I know,
feeling.
Carice, we'd lose you forever, and you
I-
probably would do things to yourself.
Which NFL player returned to the league after being wounded in combat, later winning 4 Super Bowls with his team?
That's easy.
He's a good friend of the show, as a matter of
Rocky
fact.
Blyer.
Rocky Blyer. Played in the movie by the greatest actor who ever lived.
Yep.
No, second greatest. Robert Urich. But still.
Yeah, he was good. As the last couple of years, I remember we spoke with him. He talked very slow, and it wasn't because of any injuries. He just was methodical. So a 12-minute, 15-minute interview was going to be 25 or 30. But yeah, Rocky Blyer, great dude, fantastic, nice man too, and won the 4 rings during the '70s and the Steelers.
Yeah, my dad, also a fellow Vietnam veteran, loved Rocky Blyer. Hated the Pittsburgh Steelers because he's a Cowboys fan. But when Rocky Blyer was there, it was like, no, this is one of my guys. This is one of my guys right here. So yeah, Rocky, has done more for veterans. Like, he does more for veterans in an hour than a lot of people who volunteered have done in a lifetime. He's done a ton for veterans over his life. So love Rocky Blyer, one of my favorites, one of the guys we love having on the show. Next trivia question. Which NFL player famously pulled a Sharpie out of his sock after a TD to sign a football? Smokey, I didn't get to know this guy. Did you ever get to interview him? Because we know who this is. It's not Randy Moss. It's not Joe. No, wait.
It's Joe Horn.
It's Joe Horn. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember what.
Oh, it's too old. Joe Horn had the.
He humped the.
Yeah. It's T.O. Did you ever get to interview T.O.?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. It was like the Dion interview that one time at the Super Bowl where he didn't want to do it, but he was paid to be there to do interviews, and yet he was a little bit prickly. But then you got him on the air, and he was pretty good. He's a great personality. And then I covered the Cowboys when he was there, and that was interesting too.
Yeah, so. I wondered. But did you?
But I did an interview with him.
Did you do an interview with him with the Cowboys, or was it at the Radio Row?
It was with it was at Radio Row.
Oh yeah. So Row. Yeah, the Cowboys get real territorial with the superstars in their interviews.
No one more than the damn quarterback, Romo.
Oh gosh,
he was treated like he was Aikman, Staubach, Meredith, and everyone else in combined. He was good, but it was a little bit much.
Yeah, and they kind of transferred that to Dak, although he's not as protected as Romo.
He did the Galloway.
Yeah,
and I think even one time he even said no to Hanson.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that night drinking beer with him and hearing all that. Oh,
so Galloway. One year they did the interview and they were standing behind our tent and he was waiting to talk to Tony Romo because Chris Harrison, the former host of The Bachelor, was there and brought his son to meet him. And Galloway didn't care about the damn Bachelor.
No,
and I got to hear all about that. And then I think they did I told Randy, I was like, well, we're leaving. You go ahead and sit in here. And they did the interview in our tent. So he could sit down because he'd been waiting for so long.
Yeah.
And it was beer 30 for Randy. He was not.
Yeah,
he was not happy.
Don't keep him from cold beer.
No, well, especially not for the host of The Bachelor. He did not.
Yeah.
He did not care for that. This future Hall of Famer and was a USFL star with the Houston Gamblers.
I know this, Jim Kelly.
Yes, it was. Let's see. Steve Young was the LA Galaxy. Yes, Jim Kelly.
Go back.
I want to go through. Yeah. Steve Young was the LA Galaxy.
No, he was with the Tampa Bay Band. No, was it? Yeah, you're right.
He was the LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
Herschel
LA
Walker
Express.
was the Journal. LA Express.
Yeah.
LA Galaxy was the new one. LA Express. Herschel Walker was with the Generals, and now President Trump.
Doug Williams was with San Antonio, or was it?
Oof.
He wasn't with. Was it the Gunslingers or?
I had a gunslinger shirt that
Jim Kelly was no doubt the Houston Texans. Herschel was
I gotta look that one up. But yes, it was.
Let me tell you about Jim Kelly. Go ahead.
That
Williams.
Yeah, that Football for a Buck book by Jeff Perlman. People have to read it. But yeah, let's go ahead and read about.
Jim Kelly played in the USFL Houston Gamblers in 1984. The Upstart League launched in '83. Attracted Kelly, Herschel Walker, Reggie White, who played for. Reggie White was with the Memphis Showboats.
Yeah,
Steve Young, innovative rules, and Kelly excited the Gamblers run and shoot offense before heading to Buffalo, where he took the Bills to 4 consecutive Super Bowls. I was in Lufkin, Texas. My first ever professional job was at KTRE in Lufkin, Nacogdoches, and I covered the Gamblers like a blanket. They had some Ricky Sanders. They had there's a guy named Todd Fowler from Van High School who played with the Cowboys. Remember, eventually? He was a running back, but he was a tight end at Stephen F. Austin. I loved to do that. I'd go down. I'd send my features to ESPN back before they got to be as big as they were, and they ran a lot of my stories on the Gamblers.
Okay, so he was with the Oklahoma/Arizona Outlaws.
Who?
Doug Williams.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that one was one of the ones. I bought a San Antonio Gunslinger shirt because they are by far, and this is through a lot of terribly run sports franchises, they are the worst run sports franchise in the history of American sports franchises. They're okay. Real. This NFL legend once led the league in passing, punting, and interceptions in a single season. Is it Sid Luckman, Slinging Sammy Baugh, Otto Graham, or Y.A. Tittle?
Sammy Baugh.
You think it's Sammy Baugh?
Wheelhouse.
I think it's Y.A. Tittle.
I think it's Sammy Baugh.
Okay.
Look at that great logo, by the way.
Let's see who's right. There he goes, slinging
Sammy Baugh once, I think, led the NFL in punting with an average of about 50-something yards a punt. Slinging Sammy Baugh transformed the quarterback role in the 40s and 50s. In 43 rosters depleted by the World War II, he often played all 60 minutes, led the league. Think about this. Led the league in passing, punting, interceptions, 11 picks. In one game against Detroit, he threw 4 touchdowns, intercepted 4 passes, and launched an 81-yard punt. What a Hall of Famer, Sammy Baugh. Slinging Sammy Baugh.
That is, that's maybe the best individual game in league history.